Have you ever wondered if XRP could skyrocket by over 12,000% and hit a mind-blowing $280 in just a few short years? Well, stay tuned to find out how this might actually happen. Just imagine, right, you're watching a kind of digital asset go from pennies to a jaw-dropping $100 price tag almost overnight. Now, today we're going to be diving into the wild world of XRP and exploring an analysis by crypto expert, if you will, Dark Defender, who's thrown down the gauntlet with a prediction that seems almost too crazy to be true. Now, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down this prediction, right? Look at the history behind XRP's movements and discuss why many believe that we might be, on the verge of another explosive rally, while also weighing in on all of those risks, right? Grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump into the story behind one of the most talked about crypto forecasts out there. Okay, so let's rewind just a little bit. Back in 2017, XRP kind of made headlines, right? When its price surged from mere fractions of a cent to an all-time high of $3.84 by January 2018. Now, that explosive rally, it caught the attention of crypto fans everywhere. And it wasn't just luck. It was all about the way that XRP was consolidating before that breakout. Now, fast forward to today, and Dark Defender, a well-known crypto analyst, is saying that history might be repeating itself. Now, he points to a similar chart pattern and consolidation phases that kind of hint at a major breakout, this time with even more market energy behind it. So the secret sauce here is what Dark Defender calls the key structure for XRP. He highlights two major consolidation phases in XRP's history. The first was kind of from 2014 to 2017, right? The build-up period before that historic rally. And the second spans from 2020 to 2024, where we see a similar triangular formation on the charts. Now, these aren't random shapes, right? They're patterns that traders use alongside Fibonacci retracement levels to predict when a breakout might actually happen. And what makes this current phase even more interesting is the volume, right? XRP's trading volume during this cycle so far is about 4 times higher than what it was during the explosive 2017 move. Now, why is volume such a big deal? Well, think about volume as the heartbeat of the market, right? When more money and energy are flowing into an asset, it usually means more interest and more participation. In 2017, XRP was moving with a volume of around 28.54 million. During kind of its consolidation phase, which lasted for a total of 1,280 days. Now, in today's cycle, we're looking at a 1,553 days of consolidation with a staggering volume of 110.97 billion. Now, that's not just a small uptick. It's a sign that there's a lot more happening in the background. More traders, more speculation, and a higher chance of a strong breakout. Now, let's put all of this into perspective with a quick story, right? Picture a kind of sports team that's been training hard behind the scenes, building up strength, waiting for the perfect moment to show off their skills. Right? In 2017, XRP was like that team. After a long period of gathering momentum, it made a kind of powerful dash forward, right? Leaving spectators kind of in awe, right? Now, the team has grown, the training sessions have become more intense, and the crowd is larger than ever. Right? If the same playbook applies, well, this time the win could be even bigger. But here's where things get a bit more complex, right? Despite all of the excitement, not everyone is kind of buying into the hype, right? Some market commentators argue that you can't just look at old patterns and assume that they're going to play out exactly the same way, right? They point out that the crypto market today is different from what it was back in 2017. There are more players, more regulations, and a different economic environment overall. So while the technical indicators look promising, it's important to remember that predicting market moves is never an exact science. Still, if we kind of take a closer look at the charts that Dark Defender shared, well, there's something almost kind of poetic about the way that history seems to be echoing itself, right? The charts show a mini consolidation phase followed by a breakout that began in late of 2024. By January of 2025, XRP is already nearing levels that kind of remind us of that 2018 peak. Now, in previous cycles, after an initial uptrend, XRP consolidated for around 6 months before breaking out again. Today, we're in a similar scenario, but with a twist, right? A giant monthly green candle kind of flashed, and then a kind of more prolonged period of consolidation followed. Now, Dark Defender believes that if the current year represents, or at least kind of repeats, I guess, the pattern of past cycle behavior, well, the next rally could push XRP's price to a phenomenal $280, representing a surge over 12,000% from its current price tag of around $2.30. Now, imagine sitting on the edge of your seat as you kind of watch a roller coaster build up speed at the top of a hill, right? You know that something big is about to happen, but you're not quite sure when or how intense the drop will be. Now, that's the kind of anticipation that many crypto enthusiasts are feeling right now with XRP. Right? The technical setups, they seem to kind of be lining up, and if history is any guide, well, we might be in for a ride that defies expectations. Of course, with great potential comes great risk. Dark Defender himself makes sure to include a disclaimer, right, stressing that these predictions are speculative and shouldn't be taken as financial advice. And that's a fair warning in the world of crypto, right? When you're dealing with numbers like 12,000% rally, well, it's hard not to get caught up in all of the excitement. But the truth is, crypto markets can be wildly unpredictable. Just because a chart shows a promising pattern doesn't guarantee that the past will repeat itself exactly. There are countless variables, market sentiment, regulatory changes, and global economic shifts that can all come into play. So let's talk a little bit about the challenges here then, right? One of the biggest hurdles in the following historical patterns is that no two market cycles are exactly alike. Sure, you might see similar triangular formations and breakout points, but there are always differences in the overall market conditions. For example, the trading environment in 2017 was much less crowded than it is right now. Back then, fewer people knew about or even invested in crypto, right? Which might have actually made the market more susceptible to rapid swings. Today, with more participation, information kind of spreads faster and there's a lot more noise to kind of sift through. This means that while the technical indicators are helpful, they don't paint a full picture here. Another issue is the evolving nature of technology and regulation in the crypto space. In 2017, the landscape was still relatively new and unregulated in many parts of the world. Now, governments are paying closer attention to crypto markets, which could lead to new rules and restrictions that might dampen the kind of wild swings that we've seen in the past. Now, some skeptics, they argue that these changes could mean that the historical patterns that we've come to rely on might not hold up under the new circumstances. It's kind of like trying to predict the weather by looking at old data, right? The climate might be changing and the old forecasts might not be as reliable as they once were. Now, despite all of these changes, there's no denying that the current setup for XRP is intriguing, right? The combination of a long consolidation phase, the kind of significant increase in trading volume, and the formation of a familiar chart pattern kind of makes the story worth watching, right? Now, if the kind of breakout happens as predicted, it could not only set a new record for XRP, but also change the way that we think about crypto cycles in general. Now, at the heart of this analysis is a blend of art and science, right? Technical analysis isn't an exact formula. It's kind of more like reading tea leaves, but with numbers and charts instead of, a cup of tea, essentially. Now, Dark Defender's chart, with its Fibonacci retracements and triangular formations, is a tool that many traders use to try to predict the future movements. While it's not foolproof, it does give us a framework for understanding how XRP might move next. And when you combine that with the kind of sheer scale of the current market's participation, it makes for a compelling argument that something big could be on the horizon. To put it another way, think of XRP's journey like climbing a mountain, right? The climb isn't easy. There are periods of slow progress and moments where you're just waiting for the next boost of energy. But once you reach a certain altitude, right, the view suddenly opens up and you realize that everything was building up to kind of that moment. Now, in the case of XRP, the accumulation of trading volume and the chart patterns are like steps of that climb. And if the breakout happens, it could be like reaching the summit with a view that's nothing short of spectacular. But before we get carried away with the visions of explosive gains, it's important to kind of keep a balanced perspective here. Right, the crypto world is known for its volatility. While the possibility of a 12,000% surge is undeniably exciting, it's crucial to kind of approach these predictions with caution, right? The disclaimer from Dark Defender isn't just a formality. It's a reminder that, in the unpredictable world of crypto, nothing is ever set in stone. Investors need to do their own research and be prepared for all of the outcomes, both positive and negative. Now, one way to kind of look at this is to consider the broader trends in the crypto market. Over the past few years, we've seen a significant evolution in how digital assets are traded and perceived by the public. Right, there's been an influx of institutional investors, an increase in regulatory scrutiny, and a general kind of maturing market, right, overall. Now, all of these kind of factors, they could either support a breakout like one predicted or introduce new challenges that disrupt the old patterns. It's kind of like watching a long-running TV series where the characters kind of evolve over time. What worked in the kind of earlier seasons, well, it might not work the same way in later ones, right? Now, let's kind of circle back to the numbers here for a moment. That's kind of got everyone talking. Right now, XRP is trading at around $2.30 at the point of recording. To kind of jump from that price of $280, it isn't a small leap, right? It's a quantum leap in value, essentially. Now, if you're kind of someone who got into XRP, when it was just a couple of cents, that's the kind of rally that would be nothing short of life-changing. But, with that potential reward comes equally significant risk. It's important to remember that crypto markets can be brutal, and past performance is not a guarantee of future results. There's a saying in the crypto community, right? Don't invest more than you are willing to lose. And that's especially true when you're looking at predictions like these. The idea of a 12,000% surge is exciting, but it's also a reminder of how unpredictable the crypto market can be, right? And while the technical analysis might point towards a major breakout, there are no guarantees. Factors like global economic conditions, regulatory changes, or even shifts in investor sentiment can derail even the most well-founded predictions in an instant. Now, let's dive into this a little bit more and talk a little bit on the technical side of things, right? But, try to keep things as simple as possible. Now, Dark Defender's chart, it is built up around the idea that kind of when an asset consolidates for a long period of time, forming a kind of sort of triangle on the charts, it kind of setting the stage for a big move. Now, you got to think of it like a kind of tightly coiled spring. All that energy builds up until finally it's released in an explosive movement. Now, the use of Fibonacci retracements in the kind of charts helps pinpoint where the price might find support and resistance. Now, in 2017, these levels helped to kind of signal the point, I guess, at which XRP was ready to kind of break out. And at the same time, those patterns seem to kind of be emerging right now. Now, in this current cycle, the numbers are more kind of impressive, right? A consolidation phase that lasted 51 months with a kind of trading volume that's nearly 4 times higher than previous, signals a much more active market. It suggests that there's a lot more money and a lot more interest behind XRP this time around. And if that energy is released in a breakout similar to what happened in the past, well, the resulting rally could be monumental. But here's the twist. While the technical signals are there, the market environment is not the same as it was back in 2017. More players are involved now, and there's a lot more attention from regulators and mainstream media. These factors add layers of complexity that simply weren't present before. It's more likely to kind of be trying to replicate kind of a magic trick in a room that's suddenly filled with skeptics and cameras, right? The setup, might be perfect, but the pressure is kind of higher than ever before. Now, what does this, what does this leave us? Essentially, right? Where does this leave you, the everyday kind of retail investor, right? For those of you who are kind of fascinated by the potential of crypto and the possibility of massive gains, well, the current situation with XRP is a kind of thrilling prospect, right? The technical setup and the historical patterns, they suggest that we could be on the brink of something huge. But for those who prefer a more kind of cautious approach, is kind of a reminder that every coin has two sides. And the same patterns that hint at a breakout also come with risks of significant pullbacks if things don't go as planned. So as we kind of look ahead here, right, the key takeaway is that while the possibility of a 12,000% surge and rally is tantalizing, it's essential to kind of keep our eyes wide open on our expectations, our eyes wide open and keep our expectations in check, right? The crypto world and the crypto market is full of surprises, and what seems like a sure bet on paper can sometimes unravel in unexpected ways. The story of XRP, with its roots in historical consolidation patterns and explosive breakout potentials, is kind of a perfect example of how the crypto world is both thrilling and unpredictable. Just imagine for a moment, when all of this kind of build-up finally explodes, right? A giant surge that kind of takes XRP from modest $2.30 to a staggering $280. It's that kind of moment that makes your heart race, right? Your palms sweat and your mind spin with possibilities. That key moment is what many are waiting for, and it represents the kind of accumulation of years of anticipation and accumulation and market energy. If this breakout does indeed happen, it's not just a win for XRP holders, right? It's a landmark moment that could redefine what's possible in the crypto space, right? Just imagine what that market cap would be, right? And that market cap argument that people keep throwing out there would finally be debunked once and for all. Right, the excitement around all of this is palatable, right? And while there's no guarantees that history, will repeat itself exactly, the possibility is enough to keep every crypto enthusiast on the edge of their seats. So in wrapping up our kind of deep dive into this explosive prediction, right, we've kind of seen how history, technical analysis, and raw market energy come together to paint a picture that's kind of both exciting and uncertain. Right, XRP's past rallies, the chart patterns, and the surge in trading volume, they all hint at the potential for another major breakout, one that could see the price rocket to $280. But with that promise comes the reminder that, the crypto markets are inherently volatile, right? And every prediction comes with its own share of risks. Whether you're a kind of die-hard crypto fan or just someone who loves a good underdog story, the tale of XRP's potential rally is one that has all of the elements of a blockbuster, right? Anticipation, drama, and the promise of a truly game-changing moment. If you found this update useful and informative, guys, make sure to smash that like button, guys. The more likes that we get on this video, the further that YouTube algorithm will push it to more like-minded individuals. So if you love XRP, let's get those likes nice and high. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest news, technical analysis, not just on XRP, but on a whole host of other altcoins, make sure to hit that subscribe button just down below. Now, if you want to know about XRP and why holding 10,000 XRP puts you in the top 5% of all XRP holders, you're going to want to check out that video right there.